oh, it's not like there's an emergency, but I try and keep them around 45 minutes because then I can edit out all the stuff and it gets down to half hour. It seems like that's tolerable, but anyway. So I'm just rambling on. I can't talk today for some reason. But, so we set up with this thing with the chocolate shop, but I didn't want anything to do with it because once it becomes unfun to do this, becomes a business, I don't want anything to do with it. And that's what it ended up happening, where her folks would pick up a bundle of, or maybe 2 or 3 loads of 25 a box, take them back, and then when Herschel would call up my father-in-law, Bob, he'd say, but ready for a new shipment, and so he would go over, collect the money for the previous, and just kept that rotation. So they were always 25 ahead of the game. But, at $25 a pop, what they're selling them for, the bar kept 4, and I was to get the rest, and I gave Bob, they wouldn't take it. Who am I kidding? But then they ended up, we lost them, they got damaged, and, we need more, and it just got to be bad. But where I had fun with this was, we went down there, Jane and I went down there one time. We went in, we saw the poster, and it says, Harry's poster for sale and stuff. And we go, hey, that's really neat. Can we get one? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, you know what? Maybe we have one already. And so I start talking with the bartender. I go, what's the story on that? Who did that? And this guy, honestly, the guy goes, well, it's this weird guy from Colorado. And the story just took off. And I'm just thinking, really? And he goes, yeah, he's sort of this real eccentric guy that's really weird. He lives in Colorado, but he pulls up in a limo and this guy comes out. And he had this ridiculous story about a limo pulls into town and then drops off the next shipment. So I don't know where that came from, but Jay and I are just laughing at each other and go, oh, really? What else about? But that was the only one I remember. But we kind of play that game with, so what's the story on the posters? Oh, God. But yeah, so then Jane started pocketing all the, who knows? Because when she knew it was over, then she started doing the Evanston Women's Club thing. What should I do? How can I? Well, if he trusts you with money, teach him a lesson. Oh, God. If he gives you the security check to put into your joint account, then, and then just hope he doesn't have the bank receipts that says that they were never deposited in the joint account, because I never had a private account. She did. And the little transactions show it. Anyway, so moving on. Not to beat up on others. So then this is my first Baptist story, but this is the only other picture I had of Mrs. X2. And actually I'll address this. They had little Mac patches you get, a little mock truck. But this is old school, man. So then I was like, oh, I got reflection and go with that. Then I was like, well, I gotta give a little image. Well, I'll go back to that. So found the picture. These are my old pen sets. Proverbial Febreze to de-bachelor the air in here. But I found my old report cards, and there's more stuff to hopefully keep someone entertained. And I did take a close up. Oh my God. I just saw the fuzzy one. So, okay, I did take one. So it's like, plan ahead, dude. This is Marty. And Marty, you don't do that. You goof. That's a goof move. Look at, you don't wear it proud that way. There you go. Look at this. Who's this bronze god with the broken hand? Oh, and then I didn't finish the broken hand. So the first time I went out with them, I slip and I wipe out and I break my finger. I fall back but it's my ring finger. and I bent it backwards like there's no, I mean, it was flat. And so I had this little cast thing on. But it's like, I can't have just a cast. I need a cool cast. I need a cool cast like this. I just figure if I walked around campus with that, people go, oh, I don't want to know what happened, even though that had nothing, but it did have my little plate. These are the little plates that they put in, the 2 screws. But I figure if I go around campus like this, that people just go, oh, I don't want to know what happened. We'll just see that you've got a cast and we'll leave you alone. And that's what it served. Oh my God, that fall. I'd wear that for what, 6, well, actually until I had that one. I had it until I had to do the water testing in the reflecting pond in front of the student union. So then, guess what? Plaster, cast, and water just don't mix. So then I had, I keep taking off ramps, and then I drive down old country highways and then gravel roads. But, so I ended up having to go to the student union and get a new cast put on. Then I could levitate back then, but there's a cast. Hold on. Got to be so bad finding these old pics. People used to just take my crutch and I'd be off somewhere else. They'd just take my crutch. This is Tom. It's Blood. Then here's Hank Petrus, who almost pulled me over with him, but tell me you're not happy. But here's my roommate that never, prophetic. I don't want to keep saying that, but so this is my roommate for 2 years in Neil Armstrong's room. And Hank never drank and made fun of us for drinking. And I'm not going to embarrass him on one thing, but made fun of us about drinking. But he was cool about it. He's like, I don't get it, but if you guys, and he'd laugh, and he had the right I don't drink demeanor to survive at the house. But as it turns out, after we graduated, I guess the guy went on to a Club Med spree and ended up, I don't know, he probably had a margarita machine by the end of a couple trips, because I heard Hank was just like, woohoo, what have I been missing? But no, Henry was the designated driver for everywhere. He had a little brown barge, if I remember. Brown or dark green. They're all the same color. It's just what angle the sun was reflecting on them. But this isn't actually not the reason. This is what I was looking for. I had to go in to the student union to get a new cast. They put on this fiberglass cast, and they charged me for that. But I can't tell Chicago or Elgin that what happened to the cast that you had on. And while I was playing around, I was in the fountain, and that broke or came waterlogged, and my leg was rotten, smelled like smelt factory, and it was like, so the student union had put on this fiberglass. You can't do much with fiberglass because it just doesn't have the same persona as that. So Brad, this is my roommate, but who Jane, they went out with for 5 years. That's a whole nother. And so I had to take off my cast because I was picking up Kathy, who you guys don't even know about yet. But that's the official first date. But anyway, it was like, well, so we had to take off this cast because I was picking her up at the airport. And I couldn't get they wanted me some outrageous, they wanted an excuse from my doctor who did the surgery saying it was okay to take off the cast. They had no problem replacing the waterlogged one, but when it came, they go, we can't take this off until we get doctor's permission saying it's not too soon because we don't want that responsibility. So they wouldn't take it off. And I had to do it, and this was the cast. This is what they charged me. Why do I have that covered up? But it's $80. I know it's $80. Why would I cover that up? But that was to remove the old cast and then put on a new one. It was $80. But they wanted another charge on to remove. This was the first. We're in school. That was when we're knuckleheads in the reflecting pond. This is when Kathy came back for homecoming game. They're playing Illinois and everything else. So whatever, I'll do the calendar thing, but that was to get rid of this one. So yeah, that makes sense. Labor Day weekend and stuff, being knucklehead seniors in college, and so. But anyway, so we had to cut this off for me to drive down and pick Kathy up at the airport, and then that was when I was hanging sheet signs on the music triangle. What do they call it? Monument thing. Hung a sheet sign on there, and oh God. Anyway, I gotta get back on the highway. Hold on. Oh, I apologize for keeping these little rabbit hole detours, but you can't help it. It's like, well, I address it now or I have to come back, and it's like, by the time I get back, it just won't be there. But anyway, so this is back on here. This is summer 99, and we have an epiphany of this boat is, I'll do the teaser. This boat was online in the path of a freighter. And every single one of these people, I'm probably even giving away the climax, but this was going to be boat chum. Oh, but that's the epiphany. Probably saved a 45-minute vid on that. But so the 100 proof positive. I had these my official seals, seal of approval and seal of authenticity, because I put that on the posters. That's, he's telling the truth if he's got a seal of authenticity. See, 100% proof. And so then I was like, wow, this is one of my favorite shirts. And I was like, if you're going to say that's your favorite shirt, you got to be honest and say, who's too cheap to sew on a button and, goes old school on it? Okay. So then I go back and it's like, well, give a picture of what he looks like today. So it's like, wow, does he have a goiter or something? Why isn't he putting... So I was like, oh, it just turned out to be a little bit blurry. And then it's like, ooh, look at that effect. And I was just like, whoa, let's go bipolar. It's just like creative, whatever. But, so that's like, okay, but we've got a surprise coming up. We got a surprise. Anyway, I had to blow the dust off his shade. I haven't been outside in the summer for 2 years. Oh, God. Because the sun ain't the way it used to be. It's white now. Anyway, that's another story. Oh, and then, this was what I was going to do 2 weeks ago before I started recording my testimony. I was all set up with, these are all the different AA and NA meeting sites around Ann Arbor. So I was all hopped up because I have to get out, and zero fellowship for way too long. Year plus of any fellowship. So I thought, just go to NA and AA and just kind of, be there and kind of figure out all this drug stuff with the opioids. And then, so I tell my doctor, he's like, I don't know if I should tell my doctor, but he's like, I'm glad you did, because they've got people in the parking lot that just feed on these things. But anyway, so I wanted to do this, and I get all set up, and then it gets put on my heart to just do the testimony letter for Andrea. Get that out the door, and then go back to this. So then I do the Andrea letter, and it's like, this has to be shared. This life has to be shared. It's not me. And if you think it's me, then shut it off, because it's what I went through because I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention. Anyway, so this was 2 weeks ago. This is when I started the Neil Diamond thing on Sundays, because I listened to Springsteen live way too long. Anyway, so then I found my old sailing garb, and 9 out of 9 races, this is what I'd wear. And on the 10th one would be a offshore, regatta or something. And so I'd have to wear a boat shirt or something. But, he had the hat. And I know this wasn't hat because I don't know where I got this, but it didn't have a race we ever did. So that's uncool. You don't wear a hat where you didn't do the race. I can imagine these guys that pretend they're Vietnam veterans that walk around. Yeah, I was in Nam, and the big one. No, I guess those are two. Well, they'd say both. I mean, if you push one, why not just go for the, gancho and everything? Just, yeah, WW2. That was the one, but Nam did it to me too. Korea was okay. But I can imagine going around acting like you're part of those. Oh, I don't understand people. But yeah, and then this was the boat hat on Raven. And, this blue shirt, that was me. That was and then these are the shorts. I had another pair of shorts that I know are in Pentwater now at the place before I came here. Those were the deal. But they had a big tear in the seam here, but those had the tape on the back. But those were the boat shorts because they had a little padding. I have no butt padding at all. And, man, you sit up here being rail meat for 45 minutes at a time. Oh, you need padding. And I'm not going to get one of those hemorrhoid cushions and put that. That'd be kind of a funny joke or picture, but not going to do it. And, I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that was the garb. And, I don't know why I even did that. I used to call that my cardinal hat, and then this is my Pope hat. These are the Mac race hats. But yeah, these are the only other pair of jeans, but I can't wear these around because these look terrible. Oh, and then when I took this picture, it's like, well, tell them about the rotation of the legs, which I do. So this is the way my legs are unnaturally rotated. And I should have taken one when they line up. But if they line up, that this leg goes out like this, and then this one kind of does a little, but it's less. So this points at 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And as it turns out, that's from someone shaking the leg when you're a little baby. Pretend that I'm in the crib, and this is looking at a wall, and I'm in the crib going, eh. Someone comes in there and says, shut up! Shut up! I can't take it. It's a joke. But it's me, so. And that's what happened. So my legs because babies are born without kneecaps. And so when my legs started getting used to this, and got a kneecap, that this is the way my leg grew up. And that's what God did. It's just like, oh, this knucklehead is doing bad things, but I'll try and fix it. Don't you worry about it. And all through junior high, we had, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then it was like, yeah, this hurts. And it's like, no, you're not. You're lying. You just want attention. It's like, no. Milk holes in gym class, and we were together in third period. I need a medical excuse, so we go see a doctor. And Dr. Wool says, oh, you've got Osgood Schlatter, so that's the kneecap tracking across, and so we're going to do surgery. Well, we'll hold off on surgery, but we'll keep you out of gym because that's a condition that kids that are active get. And I might have already said it, but I don't know what I've taped over at this point. And I can delete it. And it's where your kneecap or your bones grow faster than the tendons. I wonder why. Maybe God didn't design gymnastics class and soccer for 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds and kind of threw in a little whammy. But Mr. I'm no athlete, Mr. I want to be an athlete. God. I want to play sports. And no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Milk holes in my gym class? Oh my God, I need a medical excuse. He's still in my class in high school? I need another excuse. Oh, God. So, the first reconstructive surgery tried to recorrect what nature and God was already doing. And, no one knew any better. And, I fault no one because I wanted the surgery because of the excuse and everything. So no one's playing that card where, oh, if I didn't have the surgery. No, I wanted it. No matter what, I would have wanted it. But that's, you know, again, a little nudge going, you know what? I had you covered. I had you covered. And you try and do it man's way, or you try and do it my way, and you took man's way. You got to do it Yah's way. Anyway, there's a deeper meaning there for those of you. Calf again. Anyway, so that was the unnatural rotation I had from shut up. Moving on, sort of. I'm covering my ingrown toenail. No, I was just showing the backside. This thing was, it's like Seinfeld with a baby blue. Aw, this was baby blue. Started to go. He wouldn't last, one washing and 2 races. This is gone. And, that's probably in style now. I know this is kind of in style, but not the way I did it. You wear the same hat. Oh, this does it a lot of justice. I mean, this thing's it's a little on the, around the blocks. Anyway, this is my old, briefcase. Just sharing. And then this is on the table. And, oh, yeah, when I started getting all jacked up about, gotta find that picture, it's like, whoa. And had to get some power milk. And it's like, yeah, I know it. Milk and GMOs and, you know, it tastes like vulcanized snot at times. But anyway, it's milk. And I just always drink milk. Sorry. But, you know, a few weeks ago, it was like, oh, I should have calcium deposits, take calcium supplements, and then this is extra salt shake because I got ocean salt. This is my salt shaker, so these aren't drugs. These are, but these are Tylenol and stuff. And so this is my being real clever and put all my 3 remote controls and flashlight in my little bucket, but then it's like, be smarter than the inanimate object because the tape's falling apart. But so yeah, it's strong. So just look up, but it's like get the computer and just go online. Blue letter label. Man, what is going on? I cannot talk. And these are the monthly meds. I just wanted to show because I'm so paranoid with the doctor that every month when I get a new script, I put on the new label to just let him know. I mean, he can check the records, but let him to know I'm still on that 30-day mark of not jacking around with the script at all, just refilling as, you know, per the prescription. He knows. He knows that I'm way over paranoid on that. So I went back to this one, and it's like, since I've been recording and I hear myself, and I hate this nasally Chicago, but that's the voice that I was given. So, and this is the reason I kept this in is because I would have taken that out because I don't want people to get the wrong idea that, oh, this guy just looks at pictures of Jill and rents sirens and is like, oh, there's the girl that I always... And it's like, no, it's because I got a runny nose. And it's like, well, how can you prove that you don't just look at... It's because, you know what? I know the truth of God being omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. I knew I couldn't get all 3 out at once. But if you're going to treat that he's there all the time, and the Holy Spirit, and everyone's there at all times, meaning all times, you're not going to get on here and go, oh, there's the girl, but I gotta act cool and stuff when I give a testimony. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to get up here and go, I'm going to take, if that were going on, that would be out of the picture. Because I'm so insecure that I can think the way people think, but I'm not that insecure anymore where, you know what, if you want to think that, go ahead. Miles would do that. He would go, this is him. He'd go, you know what? He gave that testimony, and the thing is, he is so delusional. I shouldn't even throw this out there. But he did. He did this on a polygraph test I passed. He goes, he believes it so much, he actually believes it's true. And I was like, oh, and I ran from that label for decades. Decades. And it wasn't until I started learning what was in, well, it's a Strong's Concordance. But, so, Torah. It's not it's not for Jews only. It's for everyone. Actually, that's supposed to be my voice because I'm not mocking it. But Torah, that's what it's all about. The rest of this thing, the front brings you to the back, and the back justifies the front. The front says what the back is going to do, and the back tells what the front was all about. So don't get this. Those are for there we go. Those are just for the Jewish people. We don't know. We're Christians, and we don't. Sunday is when we celebrate. Sabbath is. That's way too long to mock others, but I'm sorry. This is my testimony, and that's the way I see it. Because no, you respect the Sabbath, and you take a day off from your natural work, and you don't cook, you don't do labor that you normally do. And it's a day to reflect back on God. That's it. It's all you do. And I just gave a great little, I got a little mental hall pass saying this testimony is hopefully to praise him. So I just have to do a better job at it. But, and then this cell phone, unactive for 2-3 months at a time, and every now and then Social Security insurance will change, and I've got to get back onto the, planet. I call it Planet Stupid, but get back in contact. But no, one person knows my phone number and may call when she knows this is active. And she being Joni, my old landlords, and her husband Dick, and so just relax with, oh, he's dating he got a cheerleader pregnant, I heard. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyway, keep going. So that was that. That was, the salt. There's salt in there, and the other, and I don't know. Oh, yeah, so I was so jacked up yesterday. I had to slam down a glass of vulcanized phlegm to kind of quell things, because I was getting, until I found that. Oh, no, that's when I found Old Red. So then the Rebound picture, I forgot to take a picture of Rebound. And this was the first Mac. And he had just gotten this flame pink Spinnaker that was so 80s, late 80s, but so unlike Herm the Germ. He's Austrian, and Herman Heidi and Ingrid. And so it was like this cool thing where Rebound had this massively pink. And the thing is, that color, it wasn't because of him. The sailmaker was pushing these new colors, and it had this hot pink and the hot green for then. And that was when, Batman came out, and so that summer all the garb was this hot pink, and that chartreuse or whatever the green was, looked like a toxic waste. Anyway, so that's the old Rebound. And then when I retired, I was such a fixture on this boat, and they were such family, and everyone kind of knew it. And Tim, I'll get to Tim. I'll do Tim justice. Mr. Shrimp up the nose when they win Michigan City without me. I'll get back to you, buddy. Don't you worry. And we did a crossing one time with Randy Toaster. I call him Randy Thermos. And we did a boat delivery from Chicago to South Haven. And oh my God, did we have fun. But anyway, we'll get to you, Tim, because you're the afternoon of my first date with Mickey. So you just wait. You're on the back burner. But Rebound retired in 93. And at the end of the season, it's, wow, this is great. And, everyone really fighting back, heavy emotions. I mean, this was This was their life. And Herman took early retirement from GM. He was a machinist. And you figure how precision is a Austrian named Herman. Oh my gosh, what is with the brain today? And working for GM, but he made special parts for them. And he did that like origami almost. Just, you need something for that? Okay. Okay, here. And he was their parts guy. But anyway, he took early retirement from GM Locomotive. And they lived out there. Because I can't remember the town offhand. Started with a D, I think. And, see, my brain can't remember things. And they retired. And to kind of break the ice of all this emotional welling, I go, well, thanks. You didn't, I put my heart in this boat for 6 years or 7 years, 7 max. Well, I only did 6. And you guys are only, just saying goodbye. And Ingrid, and I'll get to Ingrid, but she goes, well, you ruined it. With her heavy, heavy, heavy Austrian accent, she goes, well, you ruined it. And she's so much my mother, and I shouldn't say that because, it's joking, but she's so much my adoptive mother that I joked about, well, not joked, it was true, I'm adopted, but I don't know who my parents were, but we kind of looked at each other as, and she said it, so I'll say what she said. She goes, you could have been my son the way you look. Because her hair's kind of like mine and stuff. But, oh my God, Ingrid, you and Tim are going to get a whole little episode because the time that you were vacuuming, holding a cat, and you came to the boat looking like you came through a Freddy Krueger movie. Then the next time she fell between the dock and the boat. Talk about a resilient woman. Oh, God. She came back the next week, and she looked like she was the battery wife of the century. Because she bruised so easily, and they wouldn't go away. And Herman, when she came into the doctor, Herman was automatically in apologetic mode but I gotta save that for the other. But oh my, you wait, Ingrid. You and Herman and Heidi and Jeff and Tim. Oh, you got yours coming. Hold on. So they. God, Brian, finish his story. Damn it. So you're not supposed to swear either. You find Jesus. I'm glad I can edit it out. So she pulls this thing out, and she goes, well, I was going to save this and give it to you, but you're all getting mad because I didn't get you anything. They got me this huge picture, mounted, and beautiful photo of our first Mac. Because this ended up tearing, and it was a different, you could see the patches over here. Because on the 4-guy Bry, the guy that's on the 4-guy didn't let it down fast enough for Heidi. Heidi was like a vacuum up there. Let the spinnaker down. It'd be down. Then I had to go pack it. But then I let it down too slow, and then they get a tear, so there's a big patch over here and stuff. So I know what year this is. Anyway. So she gave me that, and it was like, oh, now I feel good. So then it was like, okay, then I have to admit, I took this morning. It was like, well, you got to throw in a little levity. It was like, so I got involved with the flat earth crap that, it's not this, people. Get over it. That's just not, it's just so ridiculous. When you find out what the truth is, you'll go, well, how did I ever fall for 1,000 miles an hour spinning and orbiting the sun, and the sun flying around at 66,000 miles an hour, and that's orbiting, and how did I believe that? That's just crazy, and upside down in Australia, and wow, maybe if it's flat it makes more sense, because that's what it looks like when we're offshore. Everything's flat. Oh, God. So I got involved. I did an analysis using data from NASA for eclipses to triangulate to prove that math only works on a flat plane Earth. Besides being what's described in here for, oh God. But so I thought I'll throw that out there and jack about that. But I had all these photos. These aren't my photos. These are the ones I downloaded for representative. But this is my active file. And, oh God. And we'll show the drawers that all the stuff got put away. It's I'm surprised I didn't pack like I used to offshore. They just roll up the shirts in a little tube. Oh well. And then, this was be smarter than the inanimate object. This thing's falling apart. But it's okay, so you get up in the morning and you have your staff meeting with the big guy. And I just jot down a few things I just want to cover. Oh, this? Squirrel. Devil, whatever this balm is, and I know it's Devil's Club Soothing Rub. It's oh, the devil's healing him. And, but this stuff, if I could get rid of this and just use this, oh my gosh, 'cause this is all natural. The place is up in Wisconsin, or Alaska. Oh my God, what is going on? But, I had 2 pair of glasses that, but this for $8, this has been a birth or a Christmas present for at least 3 people around. Anyway. Oh yeah, so I got put on these to see really up close, and then these to see, up to 10 feet, and the different remotes, and so it's well, at least I don't have to dig around in the dark, because there's another one that looks just like this, so I got that tape on there, but I don't know why I took that. But so then it's when everything's going wrong, I'll take a picture of, so I started at 7:45, and I finally got this Neil Diamond thing worked out at 8:30, which I thought, well, you could just not take a picture afterwards. But I thought this was so prophetic of Bill. Hold on a second. Oh. And, before I forget. So Jim Gaffigan, he's a Purdue guy. There you go. He's so great. But anyway, I thought, how prophetic is this? And this is how it works, that I'm trying to say the way I want to say it, but it's just going to come out how it comes out. But my little theory is that we're born with the analogy is with the software for life. That God puts in the software just like Bill Gates put in the software in a computer. Okay? So keep that analogy going. So when God puts his software into you, to every person, that there's a little program that you don't know about until you start becoming a different, becoming a person that wants to find those files. Okay? So the operating system that gets put in at birth, he put it in. He designed it. He knows where all the trapdoors are and all the just like Bill Gates knows. And I'm going to dig on him, because that little rat ball is evil incarnate times 1,000. And yesterday was Barbara Bush's memorial. And it's you know what, people? Just Google Aleister Crowley and Margaret Pierce and tell me that's not little Spawn's devil child. If that loses everyone, I don't care. Wake up. Get out of denial. Oh my gosh. That demon woman, she birthed evil. Oh, it's just, don't get me going on Bush stuff. Just Google Bush, I'm getting off on a tangent. Hell, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. So you tell me there's no correlation here. You can do your own. If you don't know who Aleister Crowley is, go figure it out. And Prescott Bush was the one I was trying to think of. Go look at his Nazi financing with the union banking and stuff. So this family's evil incarnate, and don't tell me otherwise, because there's point A to point B to point C, tying all that together. So, oh my God, don't even start. So anyway, I gotta take a breather. So talking about who I'm digging on, and Bill Gates. Okay, just stick with Bill Gates, because you get all flustered and upset, and just people won't understand. And I think almost the exact same thing happens with when we're born, that we have the operating system from God, and he has all these files that you don't really get used to or know that are even there until you start doing things a certain way. And then if you start doing good, or not saying good, that you help old ladies across the street and stuff, that's part of it. But, just slowly stuff starts getting, your conscious is what is in all these other sub programs and stuff. So as you become more and more subconscious of, oh, I shouldn't do that, that's his program getting downloaded. It's got the software in there that says, well, after 3 years, download this file. They're automatic updates. That's the word I'm looking for. God put in these automatic updates. So, at age 6 months, upgrade will say, well, just start eating things besides mom's milk and stuff. And then at a year, it's just like, well, eat mush peas and corn. Or, actually, was it babies? I just read that however we feed babies is totally wrong. We feed babies. I've never fed a baby in my life. But the baby food is all backwards, where kids aren't made to have solid food for a long time. Don't even get started about inoculations. No. They'll be against the screen. Well, actually, you can't do it that way. But, oh, my head explodes when you talk about vaccinations. Oh, that's evil. Anyway, so as you go through life, in youth especially, you get all these systems upgrades as you go along. And it gets to a certain point where you have to start making, if you start acting this way, you're not going to get the next download. You're not going to get the upgrade that this program's designed for, unless you kind of turn things around. And I think that's what happened with me, is I got all the initial software and I started reading the files, but then I just wanted to do things on my own. And he's like, no, you got to wait for the natural downloads. And I might have found these programs, like volunteering at the Children's Hospital. I might have found that file one day and was like, click it. And it was like, oh, I can feel good about working at a children's hospital. It's like, no, your people are going to take it wrong. Or maybe that was the trial he wanted me to. But I would do that. I'd find files and start digging into them. And it was like, but not where I wanted to go with that. And then so finally, it gets to the point where people become corrupt. And that's when you start, he isn't going to do anything until you start cleaning out your files and, you watch something, or, your little monkey, the cookies, all your cookies are being stored. Those cannot be erased. And I guarantee you, those cookies, like it or not, will never be erased. So all those little sites you go to and all those little images you go to, those are on cookies that are not removable. And I got to wrap this up. I'm just at my time limit. And, rolling along and I fall down. But, so I like the analogy, and then I just stopped. But, stop. I'm just gonna have to edit this out, but yeah, I was going to get a puppy, and it's just oh my god, typo was just like this, sky was just like this, and so where was I going? So you have all these files in you, and just like Bill Gates, and then this was prophetic because how the computers just kind of crushed the Bible. And this was an old MacArthur, this is New King James, and then I realized, oh, this is not good because little edits, and then it's like, now I don't know what to, so you just got to go by your heart at some point and work out the fine details, but the heart is the important thing. Is when you start getting those little things saying, I probably shouldn't be doing this, he's going, I'm not going to download this file until he knows that he shouldn't be doing that. And it wasn't until I started cleaning up my desk files until he started showing me other things that, had you done this, that would have never happened. I gave you funny stories to talk about, but in all seriousness, those aren't funny stories. Your little DUIs and your little drinking problems and abusing your body, and I mean, it's riding bicycles on roofs and stuff. And, so I had to get all those files cleaned out, but he's got the back door to come in and change anything he wants. Whenever he could give you an upgrade and you think, oh, I got the next upgrade. No, that upgrade is to change a future upgrade because you're being a knucklehead and he has to rechange his programming now. So don't think he has full autonomy on every single person at every single moment of your existence. If you breathing, he's seeing. I don't know where I came up with that, but oh, we'll leave it on that note. I can't. Good night, everybody. Drive home safe. Tip your way.